Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Can I Get a Witness? Today, we sit down with Carla Fink, Allies' very own, who's in charge of our travel. So if you want to take a trip, Carla is the person you talk to. So let's sit down with her and see what Carla has to say. Hello, everyone. Well, we are back to interviewing staff today, and we are here in Bedford, and we're interviewing Mrs. Carla Fink. Carla, how are you doing?
I am doing great, thank you.
All right. Well, I'm so glad you had us over today.
Thank you for being here.
So, Carla, tell us, how in the world did you get involved in Allies to begin with?
Well, this is kind of a long story, but I'll try and keep it short.
Okay.
I attend the Methodist Church in Euless, and I'm involved with an organization called Walk to Emmaus. It's a weekend, 3-day weekend spiritual retreat aimed at growing Christian leaders.
Okay.
I was attending one of these walks. Actually, I was working as a team member on one of these walks. And as I was giving my talk, I had been asked to talk about study. Backtrack about 20 years, I had felt the need to study Russian.
Wow.
I grew up in Japan as a missionary kid. And Japan is geographically very, very close to Russia. And it occurred to me, I don't know anything about Russia. I should know something about Russia. And I bought a book on Russia and I read it and I said, that's really interesting. I should know the language. So over the years, off and on, I'd been playing with Russian. Fast forward 20 years, I'm at the Walk to Emmaus. I'm giving my talk and I'm telling these women, for some reason, I felt the call to learn Russian. I don't know why. At the same walk, Pastor Sharon Reed of Mansfield Methodist Church had just gotten back from a trip with Allies. And we got to talking and she said, you have to meet Chris Bergen. You have to meet him. This was in March of 2013.
Okay.
In April, the three of us had coffee. And that September, I was on my first trip to Russia.
And then not too long ago, you've come to work at Allies. So tell everyone, what do you do at Allies?
I have the best job ever. I'm the travel manager.
All right.
And what that means is I get to take you on a trip with me. I take groups of people, donors, volunteers, anybody who's even mildly interested in Russia or Moldova or Peru. And I get to show you firsthand what your support has been doing.
Oh, wow.
I get to show you some of the culture. I always make sure there's a cultural aspect to the trip.
Okay.
You get to see this new country. You get to hear the language.
So if I want to go on a trip, I come and I find you.
Please, please come and find me, Carla.
All right.
Carla Fink.
All right. So when you see these people, some of our donors, friends of Allies go on these trips, what do you hear when they come back? What do you see in them when they come back from these trips?
I see them just really fired up. They've gotten to see and hug these children. They've gotten to actually witness the relationship between the mentors that have developed relationships with the children. They get to see the relationships that have been developed between the mentors and the orphanage directors or the families. And they've become good friends. We've become good friends with a lot of the mentors, a lot of the area leaders. And when they see that and they see how happy the children are to have the mentors come visit them, people come home and they start telling their friends and they start asking how they can help more. Call me, we'll plan to travel together.
Well, there you go. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Carla Fink. Carla, we thank you so much for your time today, and I hope that ladies and gentlemen, you will book a trip. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed today's show. We want to thank Carla for having us into her home and explaining to us the importance of going on a trip and just what you get from going on a trip, coming back and seeing where all your money goes and to help these orphans all around the world. If you'd like to go on a trip, please email Carla at carla@alliesYouth.org. Well, until next time, we'll see you.